Imagine you made a decision that seemed completely reasonable, smart even, and years later you discovered it cost you $4 million. In 1997, an ordinary man bought shares of a small online bookstore called Amazon. The total investment? $400. 2 years later, his $400 had grown into $2,200. He was thrilled. He sold everything and locked in the profit. He felt smart. He felt like he had beaten the market. He walked away satisfied, convinced he had done everything right. But here is what he didn't know. While he was congratulating himself, those same shares kept growing, year after year after year. And today, those $400, the ones he sold, would be worth $4,100,000. $4 million. Gone. Not because of bad luck, not because of a crash, because of one decision that seemed completely rational at the time. This is a real story. This happened to a real person. And the painful part is, almost every investor has made the exact same mistake. Let that number sit for a moment. $4,100,000. That is not a fantasy. That is the mathematical result of what happens when you hold a great company for decades instead of years. Today, we are going to break down exactly what went wrong, and more importantly, the 3 rules that separate people who build real wealth from people who almost got there. This is the story of Amazon, one ordinary investor, and 3 lessons worth $4 million. Let's go. Part 1. The garage where it all began. The year is 1994. Jeff Bezos is 30 years old, working at a hedge fund on Wall Street. By any measure, his life is going exceptionally well. He has a good salary, a clear career path, and the kind of stability most people spend their whole lives chasing. There is absolutely no reason to walk away from any of it. But then he sees one number. The internet is growing at 2,300% per year, not 10%, not 50%, 2,300. He quits his job that same year. His boss tries to talk him out of it. His colleagues think he's making a mistake. He removes his tie, walks out the door, and never looks back. He doesn't walk. He drives. All the way across the country, from New York to Seattle. He doesn't even wait until he arrives to start planning. His wife drives while Bezos sits in the passenger seat typing a business plan on his laptop. The idea is almost insultingly simple. Sell books on the internet. Bezos didn't care. He was not investing in what existed. He was investing in what was coming. A garage in Seattle. 3 computers. Birthplace of the largest company on Earth. The name was almost Cadabra. His lawyer said it sounded like cadaver. So, Amazon. First order arrives day 1. 1 book. The machine is moving. He didn't ask, is online shopping big now? He asked, will people shop online in 10 years? That one question made him the richest person in the world. Bezos calls 60 investors. 40 hang up. 20 say yes. 20 investors. 50,000 each. 1 million total. Every dollar they put in became 500. A 50,000 bet turned into 25 million. Every dollar became 500. Those 40 who hung up still think about it. Amazon IPO, 1997, $18 per share. Wall Street called it Amazon bomb. They weren't wrong about the facts. They were wrong about the time frame. Headlines, bubble, no real business model. True. Bezos spent everything on growth. He wasn't building for this quarter. He was building for the next decade. 9 years of losses. Every quarter spent more than earned. But growth, customers, infrastructure, that was the real story. The future doesn't appear on this quarter's balance sheet. Average investors look at today. Great investors look at 10 years ahead. Analysts saw losses. Bezos saw the future. One view made people rich. The other missed everything. Part 2. The crash that separated the patient from the afraid. 1999. Amazon hits $113. Everyone is euphoric. Everyone around you is getting rich. It feels like it will never stop. March 2000. The dot-com bubble bursts. Everything reverses. Amazon drops from 113 to 551. Minus 95%. 95% down. The kind of drop tied to bankruptcy. Media said Amazon was finished. Analysts revised price targets to 0. The narrative, over. Amazon, bomb revisited. Would it survive the year? Investors watched it fall through every level they trusted. not just money, watching something you believed in get destroyed publicly. Thousands sold, locked in losses, walked away. They left. Some never returned to the market. But a few held, scared but holding. Price collapsed. Business didn't. Customers still buying. Infrastructure still there. A 95% price drop is not a 95% drop in what the company is building. $1,000 at the bottom of the crash, 2001. Today, $670,000. Not luck. Because someone held through every recovery, every correction, every year. This doesn't mean buy everything that crashes. One question separates opportunity from trap. Will this business be needed by the world in 10 years? Amazon 2001, needed in 2011? Yes. Kodak 2005, needed in 2015? No. Same question, completely different answers. Amazon holders got rich. Kodak holders lost everything. Price drop on a strong business, a sale. Price drop on a weak business, a warning. Your job, ask if the business is still sound. If yes, the market just gave you a gift. Part 3. Meet Mark. This is where it gets personal. Mark, software developer, Seattle, 1997. Not a professional investor. A friend mentions Amazon at lunch. Mark had never heard of it. But he was curious. He researches, thinks about it, decides, why not? $400, just to try. Then he forgets about it. First year, modest growth. 400 becomes 700, 75% return. Mark checks occasionally, feels good, continues his life. No reason to do anything. Then 1999 hits. Amazon stock doesn't grow. It explodes. $400 became $2,200. 450% in 2 years. Mark checks his account every hour. The number keeps going up, and a question grows louder. 2 voices. Hold it, or sell now. That battle lives in every investor. Mark sells. $2,200. Relief. He goes to dinner. Tells his wife. She's impressed. Mark didn't make a stupid decision. He made a reasonable one. He took profit. Didn't get greedy. The problem wasn't his logic. It was his time frame. Months versus decades. Crash hits. Amazon down 95%. Mark thinks, I got out in time. Life goes on. 2003, 2005, 2007. Amazon launches AWS and Kindle. Not just a store anymore. Mark doesn't notice. He moved on years ago. 2010. News alert. Amazon at $240. Mark does the math. His $400 never sold. $13,000 today. He folds the napkin. Throws it away. $13,000. He winces. Waves it off. Moves on. 2015. $700 per share. His $400 would be $38,000. He checks. Can't help it. The stock compounded every year without him watching. 2018. Amazon hits $1 trillion. Mark's $400, if held, worth $110,000. He stops doing the math. He already knows it's too large to look at. A specific kind of pain, not from losing money, from watching money you once held grow into something you can't comprehend. The gap too wide to rationalize. Still growing. 2020. Pandemic. World goes online overnight. Amazon hits $3,700 per share. Mark doesn't do the math anymore. He knows. $400. 1997. Untouched. Today, $4,100,000. 3 numbers. 400 invested. 2,200 taken. 4,100,000 left behind. The cost of 2 years instead of 25, nearly $4 million. Mark wasn't foolish. He was normal. He made an intelligent-looking decision. The tragedy, he almost won. He didn't need more information. He needed 3 rules nobody told him. Part 4. The 3 rules worth $4 million. Lesson 1. Great companies must be held for decades. Mark held 2 years. Like planting a tree and digging it up too soon. The tree needs time. You have to leave it alone. on Amazon's first 5 years. Doubt, losses, near collapse. Stock down 95%. Media said dead. But the business, customers, infrastructure, technology was growing beneath the surface. The best investors hold an average of 20 years, not because they're stubborn, because time is the engine that turns good decisions into extraordinary results. Selling early destroys the engine. Lesson 2. A price drop is a signal to think, not to sell. Phone on sale 30% off. You buy it, obviously. Stock drops 30%. People panic and sell. Same discount, opposite reaction. When prices fall, fear overrides reason. The brain treats financial loss as a physical threat. Useful 10,000 years ago in financial markets, one of the most expensive instincts you can have. One question every time prices drop. Needed by the world in 10 years? Amazon 2001. Yes. Kodak 2005. No. Same question. Completely different outcomes. Almost nobody asks it. Lesson 3. The most expensive question, when should I buy? Most people answer, not yet, and the train leaves without them. Mark after selling, $5, I'll wait. 20, miss the bottom. 50, it'll correct. 100, stopped looking. A better moment that never came. There is no perfect moment. The brain weighs potential losses twice as heavily as gains. Every buying opportunity feels more dangerous than it should. Normal, predictable, in Mark's case, cost $3,800,000. 90% of active traders underperform simple buy and hold over 10 years. They didn't stop asking when to buy. They started asking what to own. That shift changes everything. Hold long. Use drops. Start now. Get out of your own way. 3 rules, $4 million. We just watched someone ignore all of them. Part 5. What does this mean for you right now? That was 1997. Which company is the Amazon of today? 1994. Internet growing 2,300% per year. Bezos asked, needed in 10 years? Acted on the answer. That clarity produced some of the greatest wealth accumulation in history. AI, biotech, space. Will any of these be needed in 10 years? We won't tell you which company to buy. The point is the framework. Ask the right question. Own the answer with conviction. Hold long enough for compounding to work. That's the entire model. That is your homework. One question. Apply it honestly. Mark found the right company. The failure wasn't the choice. It was the holding. Selling too early and waiting forever. The 2 most expensive habits in investing. You now know both. You now know what Mark didn't. Use it. 3 rules. Hold long. Use drops. Start now. Worth $4 million. We just proved it. Which company is the Amazon of the next decade? Tell me below. Write in the comments. Best answers, we cover them in the next video. Next, Elon Musk lost $200 billion in one day. Subscribe. If this changed how you think about one decision, it did its job. See you next time.